my goodness. Whole new policies coming out, simplified, updated. It's going to be an interesting year. We're going to go ahead and start though. Remember, old is old, this is new. What are the smoking policies on Princess Cruise Lines, Royal Caribbean, and Carnival? Royal Caribbean. All right. So, what is Royal Caribbean's new smoking policy? They have gone through and simplified it. It is no longer a couple pages long. It is actually only a page and a half, and it's got big font, so it might not even be that. But for the comfort and enjoyment of our guests, our ships are designed as non-smoking. However, we recognize that some of our guests do smoke. To provide an onboard environment that meets all the needs, we have designed certain areas of the ship as smoking areas. Smoking refers to the use of cigarettes, cigars, all types of electronic vaping such as e-cigarettes, vapes and mods, etc., and pipe smoke. Smoking is permitted in the designated outdoor areas and must be properly disposed of. Do not ever throw these things overboard. It says never to be thrown overboard. Just don't do it. They have visible signage posted in areas where smoking is permitted, and ashtrays are provided for that use. Cigar and pipe tobacco are limited to designated outdoor areas and the cigar bar. You must be at least 21 years of age to purchase, possess, or use tobacco on sailings beginning in U.S. ports. For sailings beginning in all other ports, the minimum age is 18. So if you're sailing from the United States, you must be 21 to have the tobacco products on you, including the vapes, the e-cigarettes, and the mods. Or if you're coming from another country, the minimum age is 18. Okay, the onboard casino. The Casino Royale allows smoking and has designated areas for both smoking and non-smoking guests. There is visible signage for indicating the smoking and non-smoking areas in the casino. Smoking is not permitted in the casino for any ships sailing from Australia and the United Kingdom. So, if you're coming from the US, you can smoke in the casinos. If you're coming from Australia or the United Kingdoms, there is no smoking in the casinos at all. Other spaces on board. Smoke free. On board, all internal public spaces are smoke free. Smoking is not permitted in any of the dining venues, the theater, the bars, lounges, hallways, elevators, and the jogging track. Although considering the wind speeds that get up there sometimes, I wonder if anyone could keep the light going. Outdoor areas near restricted areas, food venues, and kids' play areas and pools will not allow smoking. On Oasis class, smoking is not permitted in Central Park or the Broadway neighborhood. Smoking and vaping is not permitted inside any stateroom and any stateroom balcony. If a guest is in violation of the stateroom policy, a cleaning fee of $250 will be applied to their SeaPass account and may be subject to further action. Royal Caribbean International kindly asks all guests to please observe the smoking policy. These requests are made to provide a comfortable cruise for everyone. Guests who violate the smoking policy may result in one or more enforcement actions as described on page 2 of our guest conduct policy. Princess Cruise Lines. So what is Princess Cruise Lines' updated smoking policy? Keeping the comfort of our guests a priority and in consideration of consumer studies which shows that smokers are a small minority of guests, Princess has implemented the following smoking policy. Designated smoking areas. Clearly marked designated smoking areas are available on board and include a sufficient number of ashtrays that are emptied regularly. Generally, these areas include the cigar lounges, a section of the nightclub, as well as a portion of the open decks. The casino and the casino bar are non-smoking areas on board, with the exception of a designated slot machines where guests are permitted to smoke only when they are playing those machines. All table games are non-smoking. Show lounges, dining rooms, and all food service areas on board all Princess ships are non-smoking. As a safety precaution, guests are reminded to properly dispose of cigarettes, cigars, pipe tobacco, which are never to be thrown overboard, as this may suck back into the ship and cause fires. And we've all seen enough fires recently. Stateroom smoking policy. Princess Cruises prohibits smoking or vaping of all types, including e-cigarettes, in guest rooms and balconies. This reflects the preferences of a vast majority of our guests who value having their primary living spaces, both staterooms and balconies, smoke-free. As balconies are a hallmark of Princess Cruises, we believe it is important to keep this peaceful space clear of smoke. Violations to this policy will result in a $250 fine for each occurrence, which will be charged to the guest stateroom account. Keeping the global trend towards more restrictive smoking policies and honoring the wishes of our guests, we feel this enhances our onboard experience. Dun-da-da! Carnival! Carnival Cruise Line is dedicated to the safety of all guests and crew. We want all of our guests to have fun, be safe, and have a memorable vacation. Smoking is a fire and safety hazard on the ship. No doubt. Consequently, it is strictly limited to specific exterior deck areas. All guests are expected to adhere to the following safety guidelines. All staterooms and suite accommodations, including outside balconies, are non-smoking. This policy applies to all forms of smoking, including but not limited to cigarettes, cigars, pipes, vapes, electronic cigarettes, and marijuana. Carnival recognizes that some state and local governments in the U.S. and in the destinations we visit might allow marijuana use. However, Carnival Cruise Line follows the U.S. federal law, which strictly prohibits possession and use of recreational and medicinal marijuana and other illegal controlled substances. Any violation to this policy will result in a $500 charge per violation posted on the guest sign and sale account, and may also result in the disembarkation of all guests in the stateroom. So everybody goes. Guests who are disembarked for violating our policy will be responsible for all financial charges and expenses to return home, and no refund for their unused crew fare will be provided. Additionally, they may be prohibited from sailing with Carnival Cruise Lines in the future. There is no smoking in the casino unless seated and playing. It is not allowed at the casino bar or in the entry area when closed. Our smoking policy is included in the Carnival's cruise ticket contract. In keeping with U.S. federal law, the minor age to purchase tobacco products is 21. The policy is for U.S.-based itinerary ships only, though. What happens if a guest is caught smoking in a stateroom or balcony? They will be assessed a $500 charge per violation on their sign and sale account. Information on this charge is included in Section 8 of Carnival's cruise ticket contract. So when you sign that contract, you are signing that you are going to adhere by this and understand the consequences if you don't. The assessment of this charge does not allow a guest to continue smoking in his or her stateroom. If a guest is found to be in violation of our smoking policy, all guests in the stateroom may be disembarked from the vessel and risk not being allowed to sail on Carnival in the future. Guests will be responsible for all financial charges and expenses to return home, and no refund of unused cruise fare will be provided. What should a guest do if they smell tobacco in areas where smoking is not allowed, or marijuana in any area? Guests who are concerned about other guests violating our smoking policy should contact our onboard guest services team, and we can address the situation. This will help avoid uncomfortable situations between guests. So please do not attempt to approach the person on your own. You are to go and contact somebody. Let somebody who works with Carnival do that part. And what about a guest with a letter from a doctor saying that they are allowed to use marijuana for medical or therapeutic purposes? Why is that prohibited? Illegal narcotic and drugs include synthetic designer drugs, marijuana, cannabis, and cannabis derivatives such as CBD items, which may be labeled as medical marijuana, are not allowed on board, period. While certain CBD products used for medical purposes may be legal in the U.S. based on state and local laws, they are not legal under U.S. federal law, and all the ports we visit, therefore, are also considered prohibited items. So you cannot take this stuff with you on your cruise. It does not matter. There are lots of changes coming down the pike or have already happened, and we can just continue to catch up and keep each other informed as to what's going on so that we can all enjoy our vacations, enjoy our trips, and have a good time. As well as a portion of the open desk. The casino open decks. There it is. As a safety precaution, guests are to Natsu? What? Hi. No. All right, let's try this again.